there's another thing that you've done to fulfill a need, and that's your mastermind group. Could you tell us a little bit about the mastermind group, why you founded it, who it's for, etc.?
Yeah, so the mastermind group is for dads in multifamily, and we want to build up dads. Women do a lot to support each other, but men just kind of suffer silently. And, I'll never forget one of my buddies texted me. He was like, hey, I'm dropping my daughter off at daycare. And she screams her and cries her eyes out every time I drop her off. Do you have any suggestions or strategies on how this can be less painful? I wrote him back after we had that exchange a week later. He was like, yeah, she waves at me now and I cry instead, right? Because they figured out how to make the transition. And, it's that kind of stuff that we're not going to go read a book. We don't know what to do, but if there's somebody a little bit further along on the journey, then we can ask the question. But it's not just that, right? We also deal with the business. And so how do you scale? How do you brand and market? How do you go through and do your due diligence in your operations? And the goal is just to help build the collective body of knowledge, but with the intense focus on dads, being a better dad, being a better partner, and then being a better leader in your business.
Awesome stuff. Really, really appreciate you going into that. And I do think that it's important. I do think it's important because I've been I'm in a couple of mastermind groups. Love mastermind groups. It really helps you kind of grow who you are as a person. I run a mastermind group. But these mastermind groups are very kind of focused on just business. And I remember a time that I got vulnerable. I was in this mastermind. We were in, where was it? West Palm Beach, and I was really working to build my company. I was really working to build my business, and within multifamily syndication, just like you say in your podcast, you get hit a lot, right? You get hit a lot. There's a lot of things happening. And at the time, I was really working to scale our company's brand in front of other people and get the podcast out. And we were working on a couple of deals that we had closed that were having some challenges. And I remember trying to think and consider, what am I going to talk about today in the mastermind? That's what I was thinking. I was like, what am I going to talk about? I could talk about this or this or this or this, because there's a lot of challenges. And when I got up in front of the room, I came to tears. And all I said was, I just want to spend time with my kids. I am so focused on success in business and growing and going to the next level that I think I'm leaving my kids behind. And so, with tears in my eyes, there was a bunch of people around. It wasn't necessarily the right place for that, because it was more about business. But what was interesting is the support that I did get after just being completely myself, transparent, not trying to pretend like I was the best dad in the whole world. And I just let them know, this is what I'm challenged on. I want to spend more time. I want to give them more time, but I don't know how. And it was interesting because a lot of people in that room had the same challenge. A lot of people in that room, they were already very successful. Like, you have some people in your mastermind, one of them has about 4,000 doors, one of them has 3,000 or 5,000, one of them has about 6,000 doors that are in your group. And that was the same in this group. There was a few people that had net worths of tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. And they came over to me and they're like, I went through the same thing, Adam. Here's how to fix it. And it really made a huge difference.